By now in 2021, you are used to the video game terms remakes and remasters, but the question is, are remakes and remasters a good thing for the video game industry? We're about ready to talk about it. What are we drinking
today?
We're
drinking Ferryman's Chocolate-Covered Cherries by Confluence. This is a Russian Imperial Stout with cherries, cacao, and vanilla.
Wowzers, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about video game remakes and remasters. Has it grown stale? And is it a good thing for the video game industry?
What's going on, guys? It's SmashJT, and you are watching one of my favorite channels in all of YouTube, Gaming Off the Grid. Hey guys, take it away.
Alright everybody, we gotta talk about this. Remakes and remasters in video games. It's become commonplace.
Yes.
It, you know, at one time was kind of like, oh, sweet, they are going to remake or remaster this. And I think before we get too far into it, we got to distinguish what is the difference between a remaster and a remake. How do you view it?
This is tough. I think a remake, they actually reskin it and they make it different. A remaster, it's still the same game, but they just run it through an HD filter.
Yeah,
you know
they kind of polish it up.
Yeah, kind of polish it up.
That's my exact take. A remake means they remake it soup to nuts from the ground up.
So, in my mind, an example of that would be Resident Evil.
Yes, yes.
That's a remake.
Yes, whereas like the new Grand Theft Auto pack coming out, those
are going to be remastered.
Yes, yes.
So it's going to be an HD polish.
Yeah. So anyway, short story long. Kind of thinking about this, you know, I don't think we're any different than most folks. We get excited, right? There's a lot of remakes. You know, remasters don't get me as excited, but remakes, like when Tony Hawk got announced.
I will say I am excited for the Grand Theft Auto, though.
Yeah,
that is cool.
The Resident Evil ones you've already mentioned. So there's plenty that we've been excited about. I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 are by far and away the ones that moved us the most.
Because I remember playing those games so much as a kid, and when you go back to those the 1 and 2 especially, you're like, ooh,
yeah,
they're still fun, but they look a little rough. But then, man, the freaking remake of that game, phenomenal. That's one of my favorite games now.
But is there an opportunity cost? Is there something that is being held down? You know, I think about Hollywood, you know,
movies.
And I think about, you know, video games and things like that. It kind of one and the same. And not necessarily one and the same, but very similar in how they are with their trajectory with things. Hollywood seems at its least creative point in time that I can remember.
Oh, I feel like that started 5 or 6 years ago and has gotten more and more.
You know, how many Spider-Man movies, you know, and I love some superhero movies, how much, you know, they just keep remaking movies and things like that. And it's kind of, I kind of feel like the video game industry has gotten
suit.
A little stale. So, them remaking Tony Hawk 1 and 2, awesome, turned out great. Did that hold them back from making a new Tony Hawk?
Yeah,
and
so
exploring new ground.
So that's a good point to bring up, because like the 1 and 2 remake is phenomenal. It looks great, the music's great, it plays great. So if you're rebuilding a game and you have all these materials and these, imagine if they would have spent the time making a new Tony Hawk game with that same, it would have been the best Tony Hawk game.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know, but like, is it nostalgia that's part of it? That's why I like it so much, because I know the maps and I know the songs. I don't know. Like, that's really tough.
And there definitely could be, like, and there probably is, you know, at Capcom, there's probably 2 different development teams, right? Somebody's working on the Res remake, somebody's working on the new Resident Evil games.
It's different, yeah.
But I kind of feel like, though we enjoy them, they've kind of gotten, I think it's gotten to a point where it's just happening so frequently that it's made me question, like, is it holding back some young game developer's creativity?
Because they got to stick to a mold of a game that's already made.
It's gotten very, I don't know how to really put it into words other than I feel like Hollywood and the video game industry as a whole, and I'm talking mostly like AAA type titles. I'm not talking about like the indie scene, but it's almost gotten very formulaic. Like, you can almost look across the bow and see on the horizon the games that could potentially be remade in the future. You know, I wouldn't be shocked if somewhere down the line Capcom's like, you know, kind of played out the Resident Evil thing. Now we got to do Dino Crisis, which I hope they do.
Which would be awesome.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like, why don't you just make a new Dino Crisis? You know, I think about, like, so many like Nintendo IPs, you know, not necessarily going the vein they release new. They're not doing a ton of remakes, with the exception of Link's Awakening. They did that remake, you know.
Well, they are doing remasters.
Yeah,
because they put out the Switch 35th anniversary Galaxy, you know, 64 a collection. So that's they're kind of doing it. It's just they're not doing it fully in depth because they're just, you know, taking. It's a lot easier, I feel like, to make a remaster than it is to make a remake.
For sure.
I feel like everyone's kind of doing a part of it.
Yeah, and you know, I know some of the games, you know, like you know, Modern Warfare, Halo's gotten a little bit of a remaster or a remake, you know, from the first games and things like that. But do we think it's holding anything back? Is it a good thing for gaming? Like, so there's the positive in it that I see is that younger generations get to experience a beginning piece of a franchise that it probably wouldn't fit their palate.
Yeah.
With what they can digest.
Because they're used to the modern stuff.
You put a modern, new, younger gamer on the original Res 2, could they play it and enjoy it?
Maybe not.
Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Yeah, but if you put him on the freaking remakes on the PS4, and it's just...
So there's that is a positive. My concern, though, with the negative is we're becoming so reliant, you know, on... The PS5 came out. It's not even been out a full year, I don't believe, or damn near. Maybe it is 1 year, but Death Stranding.
It's already getting remastered.
Yeah, it's like the definitive edition, you know, right when the PS4 came out. Last of Us.
Got remastered.
Was just on the PS3. Looked fine, played fine. Is it like an easy way out
to make more money?
Or is it a service to gamers? I guess that is the question. Is this an easy way out for developers to ride a cash cow, milk the udders? Or is it a service to gamers who like, oh, I didn't have a PS3. I had a 360, now I bought a PS4, now I can play The Last of Us.
This is tough because I feel like it's a mixture of both. I feel like they definitely are doing it for money because they have to make money.
Yeah.
Like that's their whole job is to make money.
Yeah.
But then also, at least for the most part, I feel like developers are gamers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing it for gamers. I know it's kind of getting to a point where developers, you're like, do you really even play games? You're just doing it for the money. It's kind of shifting more towards that money scene. What's really crazy is remakes and remasters are like super hot and they're like the in right now.
It's the posh thing to do.
What's crazy is like remakes and remasters started all the way back in like Gen 6 heavily.
Oh yeah.
Like it's been going on for a long time. It's just been getting more and more and more. But it was so cool. Gen 6, you got the freaking like the Namco collections, all the arcade collections. Yeah. You got these remasters of old school games. You could even, and that was like really cool.
You could even go back even to Gen 4 and like the Mario All Stars where you got reskins of those games. Yeah.
So it's been a thing for a while, but I feel like back then it was so small that when those things came out, it was like, oh, okay, that's freaking cool. Now it's like, how about I already have it?
I guess, you know, I don't think I have an answer to the question we posed today. I don't think I have an answer. It's just a fun thing to try to unravel and, you know, chop it up with you folks in the comment section. Because I think my lens goes a little towards that it's maybe hurting things a little bit, but that could solely be because of the lack of creativity by AAA titles that are coming out. Because I'm just like anybody else, like when they announced the remake of Knights of the Old Republic, dude, freaking through the roof. Tony Hawk, when they announced it, we were both through the roof. And so I still get excited about them, and I enjoy them for what they are. But I find myself in the modern times getting more excited for remakes than new games.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem lies for me.
And another thing that I want to bring up is, I know you already said it as a pro, like this is getting new generations of gamers into these series of games because they can play it and it looks great. But that it's a pro, but then that's also a con. Because they play this new remastered version, they're never going to go back and play Knights of the Old Republic on the OG Xbox with the Duke controller.
Yeah.
The way it was designed and meant to be played, they're never going to do that because they have this HD definitive edition. So I feel like it's also a pro, but then it's also a negative.
Yeah.
it's a tough question because I like it and I also hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing, you brought up, Gen 6 and then I backed it up to Gen 4. I always I loved those games in the moment when they came out, and I remember like a lot of times those were, for whatever reason, I seem to get those games a lot for birthdays and Christmases because I think my parents and relatives were like, oh, he gets 20 games.
Yeah.
If I buy him this one game.
I will say, honestly, you would only play one or two of them. Yeah.
But my point is there was so much else to look forward to that didn't seem, like at the time, it didn't seem like as a big of a deal.
When I was a kid, I had Midway Classics Volume 2, I think. And it was cool. My stepdad got it because he was older and liked those old style of games. And I would play it now and then, but I was more into the new games coming out. Yeah. Looking back at it, I'm like, dude, that's a freaking amazing collection.
Well, and that's where the problem lies. So that was like a side game that was fun to throw in, but it wasn't. That game was nobody's focus, or any of those types of games were nobody's focus back then. They were cool. But you come to, was it 2019, 2020 when the Res 2 remake came out? I think it was 2019 maybe. Yeah. And that game was on some people's list as like the game of the year.
Game of the year. And it's a remake.
That's where...
It's not bad. It was a great remake.
It's like, I don't know that do you get mad at the chicken or do you get mad at this little egg, right? I don't know that it's worth getting mad and hating remakes as much as it is the new developers and on all this stuff. Like, where are we going, It's very few and far between that I play a new game that really, like, blows my mind. There's only been one in the newest generation. The Ratchet and Clank game. Awesome.
Beautiful game.
Beautiful game. But, been there, done that. But, Returnal comes out. I've never touched something like it. I've got things it kind of reminds me of, but very unique, and those are the games like when I was younger, I used to get games like that all the time. And now, there's a new Horizon game coming out. Cool. But I kind of know what I'm getting. And there's a new what's the other new one? Halo Infinite.
Yeah, there's a new Halo.
It's going to be great.
New Call of Duty.
I'm sure it's going to be great. But here's where I'm getting when I say it's gotten so formulaic. It's like you just know what's coming and it's just a better version of what you had before.
And here's another frustrating part. I know we're kind of getting off the remakes and remasters for a second. We'll come back to it. But Returnal, for instance, is an amazing game. But it's one of those games that not many people are... It's going to fall under the radar. Not many people are going to play it. It's going to be one of those... And then everyone's going to play these AAA titles that are just these regurgitated... And... They're not bad, but there's not creativity.
You're playing the perfect chord. They know what makes money.
And that's what I was saying. They're shifting over into it's more money than it is passion.
And that's why you get so many Avenger movies. They do well in the box office. They do. You get a movie that comes out that's a mind-blowing movie, like Uncut Gems or Her.
Oh, Her, great fucking pull.
But how do you think that does comparatively to an Avengers movie?
How do you think Her did compared to the 10th Fast and the Furious?
Oh,
like there's 10 of them?
Yeah, and that's why it's always, I always struggle when people use sales as an argument, because that can distort things real quick. And that where all the sheep are going isn't always the way to go. And I think we brought up some really good points there. That Fast and Furious Avengers, they know what cashes paychecks, and that's why they're doing so many of these remakes. That's why we're getting so many regurgitated titles. There will be next year, you bet your ass on it, a new Madden, new Call of Duty, new Assassin's Creed, maybe even like getting kind of into a Far Cry type of thing. Awesome games. Grand Theft Auto, who knows if they'll put those up. All of them are awesome, but it's not really innovating anything unless it's like the first time you've played it.
Yes. Which, see, that it's tough because I'm going back and forth. It's a pro and it's a con at the same time. It's just back and forth.
Yeah.
I love remakes and remasters for what they do, but then I also hate them for what they... It's almost I don't think there is a real answer.
There isn't, but it's almost kind of a vicious cycle, And
I feel like we're on a slippery slope.
Yeah,
though.
For sure.
And it's just gonna get... It already is getting to a point where that is the new common thing.
Yeah, things get very, very stale very, very quick when you're chasing the dollar. You turn on the radio, you hear a lot of the same type of regurgitated shit. None of it's great, but they know what makes money. and it really
hit.
It's kind of that there's like I can picture a graph in my head, and it's like where artists and corporate America cross, and then corporate America takes it from there.
Yep.
And that's when shit starts to go downhill.
And that's kind of what's happening with these remakes
Yeah.
and remasters. We're not saying that they're bad. Resident Evil 2 remake was amazing. 3 was pretty good.
Yeah.
But not as good as 2. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. I think as retro gamers, it's fun to see things, brought to a modern light, of old games that you loved. But I just don't sense that there's enough to hang these generations' hat on as like revolutionary games. And even within the games that are really great, there's such a common thread. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. I love the new God of War. I love Uncharted. But I have a hard time not like seeing them almost through the same lens. Like, it's a very common color palette, very common way of telling a story.
And it's also like, with all those games, and they're great games, you play them once, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's another frustrating thing. I don't know. We're getting on to another topic right now, but
yeah.
It's still like, modern gaming is frustrating, but then I also love it. But then also, like, Metroid Dread, for example, I know we talked about it a lot lately, but that's like that was a breath of fresh air into modern gaming.
Yeah.
When was the last time we had that in a while?
But I think it's a great thing to bring up, because that game is a new entry using some of the mechanics from yesteryear, but it's not a remake.
Yeah, it's new standalone game.
A new standalone game. They could have easily remade something and put it in modern graphics, but no, they made a new game. And that's why it was so good.
Yeah, that's why it was. Because they could have easily remade the original Metroid in that same style. They could have, and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
I would have liked it, but I would not have loved it as much as Metroid Dread.
So I don't know. It's a vicious cycle. I think we're kind of talking out of both sides of our mouth here, because I'll be day one purchase for the new Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, because it's gonna be badass.
But I also kind of wish there was a Knights of the Old Republic 3 that was really good.
Yeah.
Spending the energy doing a remake of something that already happened.
It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have an answer. I'm curious what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think of remakes, remasters? What do you guys think of modern gaming just as a whole? Let's chop it up.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of chopping it up, cherries and popping them.
Let's talk about this. Ferryman's chocolate-covered cherries by Confluence. Russian Imperial Stout with cherries, cacao, and vanilla. Comes in at 10.5%.
Dang, son. So, splitting one bottle. These little G snifter glasses. What do you think, man?
This is very good. We haven't had a Confluence on the channel for a while. They're a local brewery. I was kind of hesitant because some of their stuff lately has been hit or miss, but this is like really good. It's got a very good roasty, Russian Imperial Stout taste with just like a sliver of cherry, just like sprinkled in there. Like, it's almost like it's not even part of the drink. Like, it's like so distant.
But I get, like, if it was in dark chocolate, I feel like the hint is like a dark chocolate cherry cordial.
Oh, yep.
That's kind of what I'm getting. But other than that, a fantastic Russian Imperial Stout.
Yes, with that sweetness of the cherry.
And it's anytime you introduce cherry into beer, it can come off tasting kind of fake. Sometimes, like that fake cherry.
Medicinal.
Yeah, this doesn't have that.
No, because it's so faint, and I like it. This is a really good beer. This is a really good winter beer, but it's Russian Imperial. It's girthy. Yeah, I really like this. Confluence did a good job.
Very good. Fantastic brew. All right, guys, we solved no problems today.
No.
This was something
we might have caused more problems.
We were talking about this off camera, and we're like, you know what? Let's flip the cameras on. Let's just get this off our chest, and maybe we'll get to an answer. Maybe we won't. I don't think there is an answer. Video game remakes, video game remasters. Are we going down a bottomless pit? Is it stifling creativity for new developers or the gaming industry as a whole? Jump into that comment section. Let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear them. We'll be, in line for the latest remake. But we wonder, is it holding things back? Don't know. Anyway, we appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Off the Grid. Little pop-out down.
Whoa, that's a cool shirt.
This is the first Nirvana shirt I ever got. I got it at the Mall of America.
That's the first Nirvana shirt you ever got.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
that's a shirt that you never see.
It was at a kiosk in the middle of Mall of America, and
I wonder if it was just
I was probably in
small print.
6th grade. Jump into that comment section.
Returnal, for instance.
Oh yeah, we gotta. I don't even know if we can do a toast here. Steady hand.
Keeping it a steady hand. Oh, roasty.
Yeah, very roasty.
Cherry. The cherry element tastes like it's like a. It's like in the background.
Yeah.
But it's like it's
just kind of warms up a little bit.
It's